Welcome back to Policy Bazaar. I'm Arjun Bhagat and with me is Yashish Dhaya, and we are going to be talking about the top 5 wealth creating ULIPs. Now, can we come to the specifics of each of these plans and the advantages and why one should go for them?
Yes. So again, I would then now have to get into the cost side of these plans to again differentiate and what are the eligibility criteria. See, most of these plans, all 5 of these plans require you to have an investment of at least 25,000 rupees. The SBI plan requires you to have an investment of at least 30,000 rupees. Depending on how you purchase the Aegon plan, there is a limit of either 25,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees as a minimum investment. The first cost that you have is the premium allocation charge. This charge is between 2 to 6% in the first year and very quickly declines to 0. So after 5-6 years, it becomes 0 for almost everybody. It is about 2% for most of these plans.
So that basically means that the entire sum is then being used to buy those
The entire sum, the rest of the money is being used to buy the units for you. Now, traditionally, this used to be a lot lower. Now it is a lot higher. So you can keep going. Then you have certain other charges which are known as your fund management charges. These are typically between 0.75 to 1.3%. They're the same for everybody. They're not different for one or the other. So you could go for any one of them. And then you have policy administration charges. In the Aegon plan, these are 100 rupees per month. So if you buy, so for the Aegon and the Bajaj one, they are fixed. The Bajaj one is just 385 rupees per year. Aegon is 1200 rupees.
Does it go up? So the company
So this will not go up.
It will not. So that's a promise that the company makes?
Exactly. It helps you if you invest a larger amount in the Bajaj plan or in the Aegon plan. So if you're investing more than 50,000 rupees, these plans become cheaper. If you're investing less than 50,000 rupees, because they will charge a fixed amount, the Aviva plan or the ICICI plan, they start to become cheaper.
Not the it's an incentive to invest more. It's an incentive to invest more.
Most of these plans, after about 10 to 12 years are over, will start giving you an additional loyalty bonus, which is roughly about 1 to 2%. Now, this is not paid every year. This is paid either every few years, every 2-3 years, but it does on an overall basis come to about 1% per year from that stage onwards. You can almost assume these to be zero cost policies from about the 10th year onwards, because whatever is being charged in terms of fund management or policy administration essentially gets given back to you in terms of the loyalty bonus. If you look over a life, now as we talk about lifespan of these policies, the Bajaj Allianz plan can go up to, the Aviva plan can go up to 30 years. That's the advantage of that plan. The other plans can go up to 25 years only. So the longer you run these plans, the higher is the return from them, because as I said, they really start catching up. See, in a mutual fund, you will not have any loyalty bonuses and all that stuff. You don't get all that stuff. So from that perspective, over a long period of time, these ULIPs really start to catch on. Now, if you are looking to invest smaller amounts over a longer period, you would go for an Aviva type of plan. If you're investing larger amounts and you're okay to invest for 25 years, you would go for an Aegon plan. If you want a lot of fund management options, you would go for either the SBI or the ICICI plan, because they have a lot of options out there. So not just the usual debt and equities, but you also have infrastructure bonds, PSU, investments. So you have a lot of
wherever your comfort
zone is. Although I would always advise, don't go for your comfort zone. You know, stay with the market in the long run. Over a 20-25 year period, it's definitely going to beat the usual debt
and it'll reward
policy. Then it'll reward you. So that is what is important about these plans. You won't go very wrong going for any of these 5, because in a space of about 6,000 policies, these are those 5 policies which are likely to give you the highest return over a long period of time. So as the year comes in, do think about these plans rather than whatever the agent comes and pushes you. I can almost promise you the agent will not push any of these 5.
And as you said, that the commissions in ULIPs have actually gone down progressively over the years.
So if you talk about commissions, the first 3 products actually have 0 commission. So Aegon and Bajaj Allianz clearly have a 0 commission. These are 0 commission products. In the Aviva plan, you can get some commission, but it's limited to about 6%. Now 6% over a 30-year period, it comes to 0.2% per year. I think you can allow
somebody
to...
So those are professional charges
that you should be paying. That's not a problem. If you look at some of the premium allocation charges, 2% per year for the first few years, that's okay. You know, those kind of charges are quite sensible. The ICICI plan and the SBI plan as well, they adhere to the new guidelines of the ULIPs. The other advantage is cancellation charges have gone down. See, earlier you used to have very large cancellation charges on ULIPs. Now the maximum cancellation charge is 6,000 rupees. 6,000 rupees seems like a large amount, but when you have 3-4 lakh rupees invested, it starts to become minimal. For the disruption you cause by cancelling midway, you pay a pretty small penalty. So from many perspectives, these start to become quite good.
So let's just go over, say, 3 steps that we need to look at when we say, all right, we are going to be investing in a ULIP plan. Yeah. In terms of objectives, in terms of how one actually looks at the portfolio that you're going to pick up, whether it's a debt fund, debt, the different combinations that there are. So equity, debt. So how should one go about it really quickly? It
depends. So see, the plans we're talking about, you're investing for a 25, 30 year time frame. So I'm assuming you're taking that time frame. And I would say in the first 20 years of this time frame, you should largely go for the equity linked schemes. So you should go for the units which are on the equity side. These have traditionally given you a return of 13 to 17%. Legally, what one is allowed to say is you could get a 10% return. That's what's legally allowed. If the market gives a 10% return, you would make between 8.7 to 7.8 is the lowest and 8.7 is the highest, that kind of return, if the market gives 10%. However, if the market actually gave you 17, you will make about 15% over this period. So my view is, as you get into these, you should look at investing in the equity side. As you get closer and closer to the redemption date, you should start moving into the debt side. Now, as you look at these funds, you have to see, if you're investing more than 50,000 rupees, then go for the Bajaj or the Aegon plan, primarily because these plans have a fixed management cost.
That monthly charge.
That monthly charge is fixed. And so it does not vary as a percentage of your total fund value or your total investment. Whereas ICICI, Aviva and SBI will charge you as a percentage of the amount you're investing. So if you're investing small amounts, you are better off there. Now the other piece is both Aegon and ICICI can be type 2 ULIPs. I mentioned in the beginning the gap between type 1 and type 2 ULIPs. I strongly suggest everybody should go for the type 2 ULIP. The type 2 ULIP offers you a specific advantage. See, the type 1 ULIP gives you, suppose an unfortunate event happened in the 3rd year and your sum assured is 20 lakhs and you're investing 1 lakh a year. You would get the 20 lakhs, but that's it. The policy comes to an end at that point. Whereas in the type 2 ULIP, especially with a waiver of premium, which is an option you can select, what would happen is you will get the 20 lakhs. However, this amount being invested for 30 years would have converted into a crore rupees or whatever. That money will keep getting invested by the company and you would still get that crore rupees or whatever. So if you have an objective 30 years out, then that can be well protected. Some of these plans also have a dual benefit. The dual benefit in the sense both you and your wife or your spouse can be covered under the same plan, and whoever is the first that expires, the other person
gets that
benefit. So there are advantages of that sort as well.
Thanks, Yashish. So I guess the take-home value is that look at different options that are available. ULIPs is a good option to look at and not just go with what the agents are pushing at you. That's all in this show. In our next show, we shall talk about the highest NAV guarantee products, and we'll also take your questions. So write to us at ask.policybazaar.com or Facebook/PolicyBazaar India, or you can tweet us on PolicyBazaar_in. So we'll see you next time on Policy Bazaar. Goodbye.